Hi Virgo, welcome to June. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I get started on your reading, I want to call in some good energy. Today was a beautiful day, so I'm doing the readings outside, as long as the light holds up. So this month I'm going to do a general reading based on the eclipses. What you need to know, what the eclipse energy is bringing in for you for this month, for June. Because we have a full moon eclipse on June 5th in Sagittarius and a new moon eclipse on June 21st, in Cancer. And then this month Venus goes direct on the 23rd or the 25th. And then Mercury goes retrograde on the 18th. And then Neptune goes retrograde also. So we have a lot going on this month. So instead of doing just a specific love reading, I'm going to see what comes up. And it could be love, it could be career, it could be finance, health, anything. So let's just see what's coming up. What does Virgo need to know? This is a time of transition and change. The nodes are changing signs from Cancer to Capricorn to Gemini, Sagittarius. So what does Virgo need to know? What are the eclipses going to bring? What changes will the eclipses bring for Virgo in June? What does Virgo need to know about either love, career, relationships, money? What does Virgo need to know for June 2020? Ten of Cups, Five of Wands, Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Seven of Wands, Five of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, the Lovers, the Queen of Wands, the Hangman. Okay, so you're starting the month out with the Ten of Cups. This is a card of love. You're surrounded by love. This is the home, family. This is true love. But in spite of this love that you have the Five of Wands crossing it. So you've been arguing with your lover, petty conflicts. This is a card of fighting over petty stuff. Two people can't work together for some reason. Each person wants to go their own separate way. But I think that you are compatible with your partner because you have the Queen of Swords here and the King of Swords. So you're both, maybe sometimes you get more in the head than in the heart at times. So you're forgetting about the love in the relationship. Queen of Swords energy is someone sometimes it can be Virgo energy. She can be a little critical at times, and she's been through a lot. So she has this wall built up around her, like, I don't need anyone, I'm independent. She doesn't know, sometimes she's not vulnerable. She's afraid to be vulnerable. And she wants she doesn't want to listen to any excuses or BS. She just wants the facts. She's very analytical. And sometimes she can push people away with her attitude because she's just afraid of being hurt. The King of Swords, they have similar energy. He's someone who makes decisions based on logic. He doesn't let his heart rule his head. And so sometimes the Queen can feel that he has no emotion, that he lacks compassion. But he tries to be fair. Both of them try to be fair. But sometimes they need to be less in their head and more in their heart. And you have the Seven of Wands here. This is a card of overcoming any obstacles. So whatever problems you're experiencing, you can overcome them. And you do have the upper hand, but you may have to set some boundaries in a relationship. I feel like there's, or at least meet someone halfway. Or if someone is overstepping their boundaries, if there's a lot of competition. Because sometimes the Five of Wands, it could be petty conflict, but it could also be competition. Maybe you feel like there's competition in your relationship, like there's another person you're competing with, especially since there's this Queen of Wands here and the Lovers. You may feel like you have to compete with someone else. But I'm telling you, though, you have the upper hand. So no matter what competition you're facing, you can win out. Because you do have a lot of love here. You are loved. But it's just that this fighting, this petty conflict is getting in the way of that love. And it's causing these two people, which should be loving, they're retreating inside themselves. And they're not being vulnerable. They're afraid. They don't want to be hurt. So they're being cold. But that's not how they really feel on the inside. It's how they're showing on the outside. So you could be creating some kind of distance in a relationship. Emotional distance. Now the Five of Pentacles is coming up in the future. This is a card of change, transition. So on some level, you may feel... We've got nature making noise today. With the Five of Pentacles, you may feel like you're cut off from the people you love, or someone you love is feeling that way, feeling isolated, feeling left out in the cold. So maybe if you've had an argument with someone, and maybe there was some kind of separation, even if it's just temporary, this person's feeling lonely and depressed, and maybe you're struggling, maybe you're arguing over money, financial situation, because this is like financial, going through a depression, feeling isolated, feeling insecure, not good enough, like I have nothing to offer, I don't have enough money, I don't even know if I'm good enough, those kind of things. There's self-worth issues that could be affecting a relationship. And the Four of Pentacles here, like you're really just wanting security. You want financial security, you want a relationship that's secure. But you have a tendency to be a little bit too controlling at times. Like you may need to just let things happen naturally and not try to control the outcome, or not try to hold on too tight to someone, because it kind of creates the opposite effect. So go with the flow more. Someone in your environment, you have this Lovers card here. This is someone who's trying to make a decision. So it could be that a partner is trying to decide between you and someone else, or trying to choose between two life paths, or maybe you're trying to choose between two people. Because the Lovers it's a strong attraction. It represents, like a soulmate connection. But there's always an element of choice. Like, what do I do? Do I stay or do I go? And it may not always be like a cheating situation where you're choosing between two people. It just may be that the person's, because of the fighting, one of you may be thinking, I don't know if this is going to work. Is this right for me? Maybe I need to leave. What do I need to do? So you're in this choice, this choosing. Now, in your wish fulfillment, you have the Queen of Wands. And the Hangman is the outcome. The Hangman is a card of giving something up for something better, making a sacrifice. So, but in your wish fulfillment, you have this Queen of Wands. So I don't know if this could be the person that you're desiring, or you're wishing that your person was more like the Queen of Wands. That could be a fire. So you could be dealing with fire energy, a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. You could be dealing with air, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. The other meaning of the Queen of Wands, if it's not a person that you're competing against or dealing with, the Queen of Wands energy is saying, if you want to get what you want, to get your wish, because this is in your wish fulfillment, you have to act like the Queen of Wands. You have to tap into her energy. Queen of Wands energy is about someone who is not afraid to go after what she wants. If she sees something, she goes after it. If she has something to say, she speaks her truth. She says what she needs to say. So maybe you need to drop your guard a little bit and communicate at this time, and that could help your relationship. It could help that feeling of isolation. And the Hangman energy, it's a card of trying to see things from a different perspective. Trying to understand how another person views the situation. Like, things are not always just black and white. So maybe you need to sit down with someone and have a conversation where you try to understand each other and drop your guard and become more vulnerable. And if that's not possible, you may be thinking about leaving something for something better, giving something up for something better. And that could be relationship. It could even be a career because you feel like you're not making enough money and you need a better paying job, or you need a situation where you're not feeling so isolated, or a situation where there's less competition, where people are actually working together instead of fighting each other. Because right now you're feeling like you're in limbo. Everything's kind of hanging in limbo and there's no movement. But and the isolation could also come from this pandemic that we're all in lockdown. You might be feeling lonely and cut off from the people that you love and the people that love you, like your family. Because the Ten of Cups is definite, but there's love there for you. Whoever you're dealing with, there is a lot of love there. So I feel like you could fix the problem if you wanted to by being more vulnerable, by speaking from the heart, and being less critical, and focusing on the positive, what you can salvage from a situation. And to be patient. The Hangman, another thing is, things may not happen overnight, but if you have patience, you can work them out. You do have the Seven of Wands, which is the card of having the upper hand, being on top of the competition. So even if you feel like you're competing with someone else for someone's affection, you are still the favored person. So it's up to you whether you want to reconcile and fix this and, reconnect with this love, or whether you want to walk away. And maybe that's the decision you're having to make in June. Do I stay and fix it, or do I walk away and move on to something else? So let's see what the astrology has to say for June for Virgo. Okay, so you have this full moon in Sagittarius is falling in your 4th house of home. And the sun with Venus is in the 10th house of career. So you may have to find that work-life balance. Maybe you've been too focused on your career and you're not giving enough attention to people at home. But the truth is going to come out at this full moon, because full moons always shine a light on truth. And Sagittarius is about truth, speaking your truth. Gemini is about the storyteller. So you might have been hearing a lot of stories and not knowing what to believe, maybe especially at work. Maybe there's been gossip and all kinds of information flying around and you're not sure what's true. But with Venus there, you can get along better with colleagues at work. Venus in your 10th house, it can give you an opportunity to work better with others, to find harmony, and also to work on projects that you really enjoy doing that are artistic and creative, where you can use your skills, your talents. But you do have to speak your truth about, talk to the people at home. If there's an issue at home, you need to talk about it. Now, this moon is being squared by Mars, and Mars is now traveling through your 7th house. So you could be fighting a lot in a relationship. Mars, wherever the Mars energy is, that's where your energy is focused. And sometimes Mars brings conflict. But you need to learn how to fight in a good way, not where it destroys the relationship, but where you bring up issues in a way that creates peace and that creates resolution instead of separation. Mercury is in the 11th house, and it's sextile Uranus in the 9th house. So you might be thinking about making some changes in your goals. Maybe you're deciding your life goals are changing. You might be thinking about getting some training or traveling. There could be some unexpected, like Mercury is a dream come true. The 11th house is the house of hopes, wishes, dreams, friendships, groups that you belong to. So you could be negotiating some contract on a job that's really speaking to you, but it might require you to travel. Because the 9th house is the card of long-distance travel, higher education, reaching out to, you might be working with a company that has a global reach, a big company, like a corporation. And Mercury sextile Uranus, if this job is something that's really going to speak to you, you're going to be able to use your intellect and your intelligence to come up with innovative ideas, and you might even be connecting with friends where there's a lot of communication going back and forth. There's a lot of teamwork and cooperation. So you could be moving into a new career that involves technology or the internet or even remote work, or at least some type of communication where communication and research is important. You have Jupiter and Pluto in your 5th house. So the 5th house is the house of children, romance, fun, how you have fun. You could be having some intense relationships with some children, some power struggles with children. Jupiter in the 5th, though, brings opportunity to really enjoy life and to do work that you really love, to show your creativity. So if you've been repressing your self-expression in some way, you may have an opportunity to show what you can do and to do work that really speaks to your soul. And with Pluto there, you can transform. You have a powerful message to get out. Maybe you're thinking about writing. You could be thinking about writing a book or starting a website or blog, or just getting more expressive. I think you really maybe you've been holding things in for too long, and now it's time to communicate and let your feelings out and let your creativity shine through writing or through some type of communication. The new moon solar eclipse is happening in your 11th house. So you have an opportunity to start a new cycle that brings you closer to a dream. Maybe you're connecting with friends that are more supportive. Maybe you've had relationships in the past that were not nurturing. But the 11th house is the house of friendship, the groups you belong to. And in Cancer, it's like you're really looking for friends that are there for you, that have your back, that feel like family. So you might be needing some nurturing. You might be needing to connect with people that can help you heal from whatever you're going through. Mercury is still in the 11th, and it's trining Neptune at this new moon. So you could be getting communication from a partner that is very romantic. So maybe you have an opportunity for a new beginning in a relationship, where someone is sending you love poems or writing you, giving you communication that is kind of romantic and dreamy. You just want to make sure that they're not promising something that they can't deliver. Because when Neptune's in the 7th house, you could connect with a soulmate, someone who's very spiritual. But you could also connect with someone who is just seems very glamorous, but they're not really what they seem. So you want to be careful that you're evaluating people correctly. Saturn's in your 6th house. So even though this is a time of a new beginning and a kind of like a new cycle, you can start a whole new, turn the page and start a new cycle in a relationship. You might be overwhelmed with work at this time. So you're going to have to balance that work life and, what's important to you. Because you're going to be really busy with work. With Saturn in the 6th house, you're going to feel like a slave to your job. And you may not have the time or the energy to give to love and to give to a dream project that you want to work on. But so that might be the balance with the lovers, trying to find time to do both. Trying to choose, where do I put my energy? I want to work on my relationship. I want to do something fun with my partner. I want to work on this creative project, but I'm so swamped with work, So that's the challenge. How do I make time for work and make time for play and make time for love and my partner, my marriage or my relationship? Mercury goes retrograde June 18th. Venus goes direct June 25th. So if you've had any money problems, Venus going direct could help that out. In your case, Venus going direct is in your 10th house. So if there's been delays on the career front, maybe you're waiting for, if you've started a new job, you're waiting for promotion or you're waiting for some kind of financial increase, that might come now when Venus goes direct. Now, Mercury retrograde can bring people back from the past. You could be renegotiating a contract, renegotiating the terms, especially around finances. And it could also bring you back in connection with old friends from the past. So you might be connecting with people from the past that you saw, that you felt that were like family, or that were very supportive. And that's what you need right now, because I feel like you could be feeling lonely and depressed, feeling that you have no one there for you. So Mercury retrograde can bring people back from the past. And Neptune is going to go retrograde on June 23rd. So Neptune being in your 7th house, when Neptune is going direct, and if it's not involved, if it doesn't have anything to do with art or creativity, then it usually has to do with us not seeing things clearly, or not, sometimes deception, sometimes idealization, like you think that this person is wonderful, this partner, and they're not everything that they're promising to be, or they're not everything that they make themselves out to be. When Neptune goes retrograde, you will start to see the truth about this person. So you will know, is this the right person for me? So if you're one of the, for some of you who are choosing between 2 relationships, when Neptune goes retrograde on the 23rd, it will bring more clarity to your thinking, and you'll be able to see better which is the best partnership for you. So it'll help you make that decision. So if someone's been pulling the wool over your eyes, you will see it. If someone is truly your soulmate, you'll see that too. One way or another, Neptune going backwards clears up some of the fog. So you have some decisions to make in June. And they, and I would not do anything, I would not commit to anything permanent while Mercury is retrograde. I would do research. I would evaluate things and get all my ducks in a row. And I would wait for the eclipses to speak their message. And then maybe make a decision in July when everything is going forward. Because there could be some surprises that pop up. It's like you don't have enough information. But you will have the information by mid-July. And then you'll be able to move forward and make the right decision. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, Virgo. I hope you could hear me over this bird chirping in the background. If you like the video, please click on the like button. And if you want to have a private reading, where we can go into greater detail on your personal situation, just click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website, and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, I want to say thank you to everyone who has been supporting this channel through likes and subscribes and booking readings. And if you're new, welcome. And if you can hear, the coyotes are howling in the background. Oh my God. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful June, and I wish you wisdom in your choices. And know that this lonely feeling is only temporary. Eventually you're going to be moving in a better direction. So just take your time and make a decision when you're ready. And don't feel you have to rush into anything. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now. Be safe and stay healthy.